Thank you all for being here. I want to thank Hasna for your vision to create this memorial to honor us, the sex trafficking survivors of Kansas City. But it goes beyond Kansas City, actually. It is for all sex trafficking victims. And this is really a historical art installation today. This has never been done anywhere else. As I look around today, breathing in this powerful memorial, it brings about a feeling inside of me of peace and confirmation. What a beautiful and wonderful way to honor victims of human trafficking, both those whose lives have been lost and those of us who have survived. When I think of how far we've come in the last 20 plus years, it tells me that coming out as a survivor was worth it. There was a cost, trust me. For survivors to stand before you today, there's a cost. We have made progress, but there's a lot more work to do. The stigma and misunderstanding about commercial sexual exploitation was very difficult to navigate back then, and it still is today. It is what keeps survivors in the shadows and traps victims in the life. We need more women to be able to come out of the shadows and into the light, to be able to share our experiences without shame or backlash. We survivors must keep passing the mantle down to others because it is not about any one of us. Sadly, it is about the many. When I look at Hasna's two pieces, the isolation and the damnation, these first two, it reminds me that for most of us, our isolation and damnation began in our childhood, in our homes, where people that were supposed to protect us should have, but they didn't. And so we ran or were thrown out. These streets around here, they are cold. They are lonely and they show no mercy. There are predators waiting to exploit those that are vulnerable for their own gain. The use of drugs become a way to numb yourself, to be able to cope with the reality of your life. This is where despair is palpable. Then there are those that purchase us, and they are just given a slap on the wrist instead of being held to the highest accountability of the law. Because of that, these blocks will continue. They will continue to produce, hold on, a constant flow of traffic with men whose disposable income will purchase our sisters. And every year, new faces will appear. Yet they will all have the same parallels in their stories of how they got here. Those that lived through it, we all have the same name: survivor. The panels of redemption and salvation remind me of the resiliency of these women. Look at these women behind me. Look at these women behind me. How they can overcome and thrive. There are multitudes of stories of women who have made it out, and they have gone on to have successful and rewarding careers, healthy growing families, a new life, free from exploitation. The potential is in them. They just need to be given the space and opportunity to develop their talents and gifts and the support to pursue their dreams. Many survivors have joined in the fight and are working in fields of addiction recovery, mental health, and are expanding the services provided to survivors. There are several organizations here today that are doing that work as well. We are nonprofit leaders, national thought leaders, and some of the smartest, most determined, and innovative leaders in our community and in our nation. This memorial is a tribute to those we have lost, those still struggling, those that have made it out, and those yet to be pulled in, as well as the survivor leaders who dare to challenge and change the systems in which women and children are bought and sold. It is also a testament that makes a powerful and dynamic statement that says we have been seen and are being acknowledged by our community. I visualize these panels being a spark to ignite the belief that there is something better for both those experiencing commercial sexual exploitation and to those that live here in this community. Together, we are creating a world where all are equal and where all are free. Veronica's Voice and others are ready to assist and empower these individuals a pathway out, but we cannot do it without your help. So if you have any interest in volunteering or getting involved with Veronica's Voice, you can find us at veronicasvoice.org. I hope you can join us in our 20th year celebration, which is December the 12th, in the words of survivors. And as I said, there are other organizations here. I know Christine McDonald is going to have a table set up back here with her books for sale. Please visit that table. And I also want to have a shout out to Restoration House, who's here today as well. Thank you all so much for coming. Thank you, Hasna.